Holy crap. Sorry, I know I'm like breaking immersion here, but no, DMG just absolutely fried someone on my Twitter feed as I was getting ready to go live here. So yeah, sorry for the immersion break, but you know how it is. Alright, send over a snippet to her character. I gotta send something off here. I'm trying to do this while I'm about to go live. Alrighty. Didn't mean to minus OBS. Put it back up here in a second. I do hope you all are doing well today. Doing pretty good. Overslept, so I didn't get everything done I wanted to get done before I go live here, but get back to OBS. I need OBS. Thank you. Hope you all. Yeah, I'm doing all right, all things considered. I woke up late, but is what it is. It's Saturday. I didn't have to be up early for anything. I just wanted to get more stuff done before going live. Been playing an absolute crap ton of Destiny still. Good grief. I got a full set of 7th Seraph armor that I really like for my Titan. I did a really dumb stasis build using Hoarfrost. I basically have near infinite class ability, so long as I do the timing right, along with just making so many stinking Warmind charges and everything else. I like it. I kind of am a bit annoyed at how they implemented it. I wish it was just Warmind cells back how they used to be. But it is what it is. Ooh, a 13 isn't half bad. Not half bad at all. But while the ad is playing, I'm gonna go ahead. Doing some more writing today. hope is... It's a very, very small hope. But I'm thinking next week I'm going to be trying to update some of my streaming stuff. Just with what I can do. And go from there. I know we've had the same layout for a while, and I do like the current layout, but I want to change up some things to make them feel a bit more, me, I guess. And now that I'm kind of understanding more about how MS Paint works, and that I can actually like use layers like Adobe, I might try to make some of my own assets for streaming. We'll see how that goes. That's mostly because it's like, well, I do have money that I could spend. I kind of want to save money because we're going to be going on a trip end of June, and then I also got other stuff coming up. Yeah. Let me go ahead here. Sorry, I should have had more coffee. That's the wrong command. So yeah, you may notice something new here. We have the stream Spotify thing down at the bottom corner. I'll actually let you see what song's playing. I took the time to do a little bit of extra effort today to like set this up beforehand, so that it could just be here for you guys. So, and that way then too, it's also just like on screen. I can see what song it is without having to like tab back over to. It doesn't get in the way of writing on my desktop. If it did, I could just move it too, though. Actually, I might move it. Spot I like. But yeah, Soup Dog, hope you're doing well, buddy. You're doing better than earlier. I remember talking this morning, or was it this afternoon? Time is in flux, gamers. But yeah, so today, plan is we're going to try to write more. Something about the word format looks edible. Which, what do you mean, like the actual Word format or the actual like document layout for Word? Not that it necessarily matters per se. I'm just kind of curious what you mean. 75 streak. 75 is a number in the alphabet. Well, I mean, you can't spell alphabet without 75. Don't fact check me on that. Okay, so oops. We should probably up that, I think, at some point. Dakota kept in mind what Erie said to him as he walked down the light pole. Wow, you're just going right into it, huh? I shouldn't say like, considering what the question is. I do find it funny how often we get the Tupac Shakur question. I still tie strong. He sat. There we go. Gotta keep in mind what you said. And as you walk down the line. Now towards the back half of the many floored spires, you can double bit of research. All through. it should be... Magic users. Place for a small crew of dedicated magic users. Oh. There. With master. Curious and magical. Some. Why would the ghost need fishing equipment, Soup Dog? Also, what? I'm the only one that made it out alive? No, Soup Dog! No! Yeah, I know I used the wrong there. Fight me. My fucking points. It's alright. You got... How much more credits than me? Yeesh, I can't type that. Yeah, you have, like... almost 1,000 times my credits. Yeah. Very true. Quincy was not one of those types. Stocky Half-Dwarf would go on about how he hated it when... When is it December? I want Christmas presents. December is not for another 6 months, buddy. Although the music might make you think otherwise. No, I should probably actually put up my stream picture on my phone. I can at least have a way to... Rich Uncle Pennybags. Wait, does not... I know there's a picture of him using a monocle, but it's not that he actually has one on. The stocky half-dwarf would go on about how he hated it when Postman messed with his perfectly crafted and forked. Loathed it more when those who altered his work returned weeks later with their game being broken from misuse. Is it with a W? Rendered. Rendered. Rifles were often battered, pistols bent, armor rendered less. Wow, you were just hitting the credits today, Soup Dog. Also, another repeat trivia question. I wonder if the cycle of trivia questions like resets on a like almost on a weekly basis. Explain a lot. Stocky half-dwarf would go on about he hated when postman asked. Some often... Okay, I want to make sure I read this. This is written out right. I think it might just choose random questions. Because, I mean, I do have it set to all categories, but... I'm going to spin too. Could have kept in mind what Eerie said to him as he walked down the wide hallway. He was now towards the back half of the many-floored spire as he went towards. Continued on. The research and development department. The place where a small crew of dedicated developers, magic users, and weaponsmiths worked together with a forge master to craft various magical equipment each postman had on station. Some of them often encouraged their charges to even adapt and alter their tools to forge master. Not. Bad. Take 6,000 credits. He oversaw many of the technological advancements. I got balls thrown at me. Made me lose my train of thought. What the hell, man? What the hell? Oh, goodness. Balls. Oh, what was my train of thought? I feel like this paragraph is losing what the original part of this paragraph was meant. E&R department. Massive open shop with a firing range. Small-scaled foundry. Mother Glubber. Ah, we all lost. Rip. Rip my wallet. It's alright. I'll get money later. That was a massive open shop. I feel like this needs to be elsewhere. Station. The DNR apartment was a massive open floor shop sections. The DNR department was a massive open floor shop with partitions dividing each area apart. Keep things safe. Fully fledged. I don't wanna. Fully fledged firing range. Small-scaled foundry. A fully fledged firing range, a small foundry, a smithery, a lab, and an alchemy suite set. Made up more than half of the main floor of the postman's spire. Albany. That is the city that they're in, right? I said New Albany? I believe I did. Gotta keep in mind what Yuri said as he walked down the wide hallway. He was now towards the back half of the many-floored spire as he continued on to the development and research department. The place where a small crew of dedicated developers, magic users, weaponsmiths all worked together. Weaponsmiths all worked together with a forge master. To craft various magical equipment. Each postman assigned to the city. The DNR department was a massive open-floored shop, with partitions dividing each area apart to keep things safe. The department had a fully fledged firing range outside. The department had a fully fledged firing range outside towards the back of the shop. A small foundry where many of the armor weapons, forge. I still feel like this paragraph is big. Coda kept in mind what Yuri said as he walked down the wide hallway. I'm gonna make a paragraph. Mystery. Coda kept in mind what Yuri said as he walked down the wide hall. Wolf and Postman always found this walk seem a lot shorter than it should have been. Wolf and Postman always found this walk to seem a lot shorter than, considering the scale of the spire he was on. As he walked on, he kept thinking. As he walked on, words rattled. What is current upgrades? Used. Should like Quincy see them. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Dotman. How you doing today, Lucas? Doing well. Things are treating you well today. We are currently writing the Arcane Chronicles, which is the story that my Twitch Sona is a part of. And what I do here as a streamer is I like to share my hobbies, and writing is one of them. So, I'm doing that today. We're working in chapter 1 right now. I hope you're doing well. Trying to keep this paragraph from getting too distracting. Go to Captain Mindway, he said to him as he walked down the wide hallway. Postman always found this walk seem a lot shorter than it should have been. Good. Started writing a novel plan on 200,000 words when 7 other projects are in works. Oh, that's always a fun. I guess this is technically the first novel or book series I am working on. Considering that most of my other works are fan fiction. Or like stuff for D&D, other role-playing shenanigans. Dakota kept in mind what Yuri said as he walked. Hallway. Old Postman always found this walk seemed to be a lot shorter than it should have been, considering the scale of the spine. As he walked on, her words rattled in his head. Upgrades. Dakota mused about he should let Quincy see them as well. He thought on, Dakota soon realized he was now. Dakota soon realized. Dakota. He thought on, Dakota. Outside. I want the first 100 words there. As much as I appreciate you doing that, I'm gonna advise against you posting them. It's not really. I don't really take other people's work in my chat. Not because I don't want to read your work. It's more so just so I'm not like inadvertently influenced by what your writing is, and then incorporating it into my stuff. If that makes sense. I appreciate the offer, but I don't want to like have it where, because you know sometimes when you're like listening to something or like watching something, you'll subconsciously just like take things from that and you input it into your work, not even realizing it. Because I would hate to have like, no, it's kind of funny considering we're writing on stream, but I'd hate to have it where it's like something I want to write out ends up being influenced by something you put in. Now, if you do want to offer ideas, we do have a way to do that, but I don't want to have it where I'm taking your work. Not by intention, just by, oh, I read your thing and that influenced me how I wanted to. I see. I kind of need to read it at some point, but I also don't want to read it. Anyways, where was it? Good news on the Could have found his way to the back half of the mini floor spire. It's outside the development and research department. Place where a small crew of dedicated developers, magic users, and weaponsmiths all work together with a forge master to craft various magical equipment and technologies that each postman city. DNR department. Change this to ampersands. DNR department was a massive. I'm also going to do that. Oh, you're sub? Don't. Hold on. Don't. That reminds me, because I forgot to do it earlier. Don't. Hold on. I got a thing for this. Where is it? There's a thing I can do. Hold on. don't do it yet. Just trying to Shogun now, but I keep thinking, where is it? There's a way that I can do. I have the I have a way to like I have sub discounts. Where are they? Here we go. There. I'm sorry, I meant to do this sooner in the month, but I forgot I could actually do it. We don't? Oh, I'm sorry, Soup Dog. When I was done with it, turned it over and read the first chapter. Okay, hold on. Let me reread your previous message, Lucas. I missed it. It is so good. My favorite book by my favorite author. Trying to read Shogun now. Keep thinking of it even though I read the chapter. That good. Done with it. Turned it over and read the first chapter again like sometimes books do that to you, man. It was kind of me with Hobbit. Also, Soup Dog Guy. I'm sorry. There. Okay. Where was I? R&D department was the DNR department was a massive open floor shop with petition areas. He thought on, Dakota found his way to the back half of the mini floor smart, just outside the development and research department. This place was where a small crew of dedicated developers, magic users, and weaponsmiths all worked together with a forge master to craft the various magical equipment and technologies that each postman assigned to the city had. Watch the 2 movie adaptations now. Watching It Welcome to Jury series. After that, I'm going to watch the... Okay. Well, I hope you have fun with that. I honestly have not watched any of the It content because I'm not good with horror. I'm actually not a fan of horror at all. I get so easily spooked. It's crazy. Some often encourage their small foundry where armor plates and forge necessary to perfect each crafted weapon and armor piece. Lab that would test and create many of the healing elixirs. Can't believe I spelled the piece wrong. Lab that would test and create many of the healing elixirs. I'm a big freaking pansy when it comes to horror stuff, Soup Dog. Alchemy Suite set up for... Some of them... I mean, I get why people love horror. I just don't like. I just don't like. I don't know. I don't like. 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 I don't like because I have terrible flight or fight, essentially what ends up happening is my flight or fight kicks in, and then I panic. And I don't like being panicked. I like being in control of my emotions, or like in control of myself. It's also why I don't like getting drunk, because I don't feel like I'm in control, which is probably why I'd also not enjoy being high either. Yeah. Encouraged their charges to even adapt and alter their tunes to fit their needs. The formaster, Quincy, was one of the most senior this department. Having been a part of the Postman Agency well before Schroederstein, he was one that oversaw many of the technological advancements. Not even directly to judges back building. Then I see that's dumb. Oh, that's right. I did make that. I don't want you to lose all your fun. Soup, give me a second. All right, Soup. I'm granting you a favor. Watch it with someone else then, or something. No, I fully acknowledge it's a me thing, but I also just like I have other things I want to do versus just being scared. Like I get why people like it, it's just not for me. I think that's fair to be that way about certain things. People working back here often encourage their charges to even adapt to their tools. Or Magic Pussy, however, I feel like this needs to be different. Yeah, this needs to move. Formatcher Quincy was one of the most senior in this department. I have a weird thing where looking at words in the Georgia. Oh, nothing wrong with that. Well, I mean, this is Aptos. It's not Georgia, but unless you're referring to like the font that um, Stephen King uses, Quincy oversaw many of the technological advancements. Quincy oversaw many of the technological advancements, magical advancements, technological, magical. Rumors even went about that why he talked with the judges so much was that he was really. This feels out of place. Which mentioned Quincy, you haven't been part of the post manager well before to put job. You saw many of the Building up Quincy to be a savant, and I'm not going to know how to write a savant. Fort Adventure Quincy was one of the most senior in this department, probably across all postmen. E&R branches. Having been a part of the Postman Agency well before Dakota joined, Quincy oversaw many of the technological and magical advancements made by the agency. So much so that rumors even went about how he was related to one of the judges, given his gift because of his gift with magic and science. Because of his gifts of mixing magic and science. All because of his gift of mixing magic and science. Forge Master Quincy was one of the most senior in this department, probably even across all the Postman E&R branches, having been a part of the Postman Agency well before Dakota joined. Quincy oversaw many of the technological and magical advancements made by the agency. I feel like we don't need this agency. I've been a part of the Postman well before Dakota. Quincy oversaw many of the technological and magical advancements made by the agency. So much so that rumors even went about that he was related to one because of his gift of mixing magic and science. The half-dwarf Forge Master was able to accomplish nearly anything. So, it was a point of pride for Dakota to know that his ideas often challenged him. Unlike the other people working back here, who often encourage charges to adapt, alter their tools to fit their needs, Quincy was not one of these types. Saki Half-Dwarf would go on about how he hated when Postman methods was perfectly crafted and forged gear, and even loathed it more when those who altered his work. That flows so much better. Hey, Soup Dog, you should check the sound alerts. Roastery is so good. These are some dense paragraphs. He was massive with partitions dividing each area apart to keep it safe.
The icon stroketh the poetry once again. Huzzah.
You're welcome. Although I am debating on doing another one, so it's not just the guy voice. I want to make it so that people can have their preferences addressed. Oh goodness. And I can stretch my guy. Alright, let's see here. Also, do we want to keep... yeah, we already established who Dakota's bosses, so we need to keep them. Unless we want to go back and rewrite parts of the forward. Forge Quincy was one of the most senior in the department.
Request confirmed.
_Soupdog. Go ahead and
Howard.
promote your idea.
I mean, we kind of already have Ori, but Howard. Do we want to have Quincy have a pet that is named Howard? I feel like that would be a good fit for Quincy. He seems like the eccentric type where you'd have like an owl named Howard. That sound good? Sake have go on. Yes, alright. Quincy, the half-dwarf forge master of the Postman Guild, as an owl named Howard. Oh, being still was all pushed. The master craftsman to his limits as he pushed the gear to re-limit other rifles were often battered, pistols bent, armor rendered useless, as spells in use. Alright. I like this thing. Dakota tested Quincy's patience. Once inside the department, Dakota was nearly instantly greeted by Quincy's... Ow. The great... What kind of owl should it be? I need to do some research. Silent Scripter. Oh, man. Alright, I'm thinking Howard needs to be a... He needs to be either a Stigardi owl or a great horned owl. Thoughts? So Stigardi are... They kind of look similar to like a great horned owl, but they're not as big. I really do like Stigardi. How do you say this? Hold on. Where's enunciation? Do you have an enunciation for me? Maybe we can. Oh, because I'm looking at owls currently. Mostly because I have two monitors, so like all my like research stuff is on my left monitor, so that's why I look owls. Yeah. Yeah. Want to see how to enunciate. Okay. Pausing the music briefly. Strigidae. Okay. Strigidae. So he's going to be a Strigidae owl. Yeah, that's also why I look to the side often, is because so with how my monitors are set up, dead ahead is where I have my main monitor at. And then because I have two wider monitors, my other monitor is angled slightly at like a 45 from my main one, and my chat is almost directly next to my main monitor. And that when I'm in OBS. And then when I actually look over to the other side fully, I'm almost looking 45 degrees away from my webcam to do so. So that's why. But yeah, okay. How do we want to describe Quincy's owl? Once inside the apartment, Dakota was nearly instantly greeted by Quincy's owl. The dark brown and gray I said it like 5 times. Hold on. Oh, not trouble. Strigidae owl. Strigidae owl. Strigidae owl. There we go. The Strigidae, the dark brown and gray Strigidae owl hooted at Dakota in a frustrated tone. What should it... Hey, oh yeah, we already said it was Howard. Missed you too, buddy. Bird turned away from Dakota. Once inside the apartment, Dakota was nearly instantly greeted by Quincy's owl. The dark brown and gray Strigidae owl hooted at Dakota in a frustrated tone, clearly knowing it was his fault why his owner was in a flustered state. Dakota smiled up to the bird and said, "Hey, Howard." Smiled up to the bird. "Hey, Howard." "Hey, Howard. Missed you, bud. Missed you too, buddy." With a soft fluttering of its wings. The ornery bird turned away from Dakota with a little more fanfare. Oh, that's scary. Oh, I didn't change it. That's scary. Oh, that could do it. Hello, Romulus. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you for throwing balls at me. I think you did that. No, Dakota said as he entered the half doors portion of the apartment. I hadn't seen it myself. I wouldn't believe you were so riled. Onward happened. All that blasted bird was supposed to tell me when you got here. Now, you brought your old rifle. Yeah? I'm doing well. Romulus, thank you. Little miffed that I stayed in bed as long as I did today because I just woke up late, but I'm doing well otherwise. Thank you. Instead, I heard one of the words from the judges. I really wish it would, like... Fat little good, that did me. Fat little good, that did. Told me to do all that you wanted and more. Oh, can't believe she even wanted. She even wanted to have two pistols. Why two? Isn't one enough? I'm not complaining. Yeah, because you ain't the one making them. I feel like it's a good thing if you can, like, laugh at your old writing, yeah? Told me Got a lot of good that told me do all that you wanted, even more. Whoa, Soup Dog, that's a lot of credits to give to Romulus. Thank you for being so charitable. Hey, Howard, missed you too. Turn away from Dakota with one more family. Oh my, that is a small portion. There's a 50% interest on that one. You can't just give money and demand interest on it. You're not the U.S. banks. You don't get to do that. I'll never forget. A fat lot of good it did. Oh goodness. All I know is that chapter 1 is going to be massive by the time it's all said and done, because you ain't the one that... Thank you. You're draining him dry, Soup Dog. You can't just loan out credits like that. Such a charitable guy, he says. Good night. I feel like hatchets. Did she say anything else? I ask for a loan from others. I mean, you can lend money to use it's just a small interest. Or what's the small interest fee? $1,000,000%. gave you a silly sword already. She told me that much. You know that. No, not 1,000,000%. Then how much of a percentage, Soup Dog? Hold on, I need to do more research. Obviously, I know what all those are. What's the specific part called? I guess it's just the frame. How much? Soup Dog, that's what? What's the how long do I have to worry about before my first insurance charge? What the hell? Gave you a silly sword already. Ouch. Googleplex. What Googleplex? Brother, I don't have that kind of money. I would just like die. Do you have any idea how much money, like how large of a number a Googleplex is? Because it's not just 10 times 100 with 100 zeros, right? It's not just, that's insane. So much money. That is absurd money. Anyways, only that need transform into melee weapons will be like hatchets. As I said, taking apart the rifle in moments before Dakota can. Sure, you'll manage. I'll die. There. Before any interest could be hit. Honestly, that's hatchets. That seems like not choice. Well, she gave you a silly sword already. She told me that much. I feel like you're annoyed at being told what to make. You can tell that much, yeah? But took it softly as he carefully hefted the black firearm for the box. It was still very much styled like the standard suicide arms of the postman. that the weapons were noticeably larger and had 7 notches along the underside of the frame. Just young. I did it. Huh? Soup, I am not. No. Look, given how fast I put that in, that should have been plenty enough time. Because you also didn't say how long it took for interest to take effect, Soup Dog. So for all you know, I am in the right. Your contract didn't state. Once he said he's worked the part of the disassemble rifle onto. That is obscene. I guess we gotta go heist. Making them into hatchets is easy enough. Just slide the 2 together there. Those hatches. Zero K back with the interest of get scammed in there. That smug AZ emo is fantastic. When else slowly begin to glow as the half dwarf heaved the frame onto a carcass site. Kill Dot. Don't kill Dotman. Bolt. Bolts. That's how you play fetch. And then I'll take vocal bands for spell damage you want for rounds, Luma for light, Nocta for dark, Igni for flame, for lightning. Oh no. Ow! Owie! Ow! I'm the only one that won the heist? I'm getting bullied by my chat. I told you you were next. Well, it's a shame I'm still alive. Only you had something better to drop on me. Make them into hatchets, easy enough. Just slide the two together there. Those notches in the shape of matches. Flame, volt for lightning, volta for lightning. Ignis. Lumi for light, Nocta for dark, Ignis for flame, Volta for lightning, Pitcher. Gamer words. Wait. No gamer words here. I can't say them live. I'll get canceled. Flip flop. How do I split them back into pistols? Rivets in the axe head and at the bottom of it. Just grab and pull. He's 80. He's gonna have the worst birthday of his entire life. He's gonna be 80 years old. It is going to suck mega pee-pee for him being so old. Nice. Dakota said, following Quincy as they passed a pair of workers with two other postmen. Ali talking about beer. Please let him die. I mean, I don't like wishing death onto people purely on the principle that I don't want people to be having death wished onto me. However, I would not cry if Trump passed. I really wouldn't. There's no sympathy for that man for me. Asked a pair of workers with 2 other postmen. Would put them on without question. His quest, he headed the offering off the cart and put onto a conveyor belt before. Another heist? No, I feel that. That's kind of my stance with it, is like I don't like wishing death even on people I don't like. But like I'm not gonna feel mercy or feel any sympathy for him going, you know? Like I don't like the guy. Now for your rifle, we're gonna keep it simple, really. Nothing too fancy, just my wrist. You want it to make. You want it to. I have a feeling that people are going to love Quincy, even though he's only in the story very briefly. What? Why do you want to draw him pregnant? Why? I don't feel like that's a good thing. Alright, then, let me talk, the Forge Match said before having Dakota sit down on a chair in the room. Ow! Why do you... I still am not getting over the fact you want to draw Dakota pregnant. Like, why? Ow! God, why are you throwing things at me? Alright, let me talk. Capacity. Our strangers can fire rate. Funny. That's your reason? What is your obsession with feminizing Dakota? What? We're not gaming. I spelled liquefy. Grew up on DeviantArt. I mean, that's fair enough. I think a lot of people did, but like, dude. You people. You Europeans. Dot, you're on thin ice. Oh, you know, it's just love. Europeans? Yeah, what are you gonna do? John was a Frenchman, what, with a beret and like a pencil-thin mustache and like a baguette in hand? No, that's too far. Oh man, I'm gonna let you guys vibe out to the rain formerly known as purple. I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back. Worse than anything else. I do apologize. It took me a bit longer than I thought it would. But we're back. All right. Where were we? Watched. As the frame holding the various parts of his rifle to get heated. Heated to the point of liquefying. Turn back to the state of what it was before being turned into a rifle. What? What? Savage, I'll then gender bend him and give him huge knockers. I'm flattered, but I fear that that's gonna do something terrible. Also, Rip Dotman. Gonna make me regret having Dakota be a guy, I think is what would happen if that happens. Forger grabbed up a new frame. Alright. As much as I think it is fun describing how the rifle's being done, I feel like we're going to be wasting too much time doing that because like the metal needs to get cold. So I think what we're going to do, instead of your firepower, making have a larger magic clip capacity, along with being more accurate. Will fire straight as can be, at a fire rate you deem worthy for the engagement. Go scratch at his chin as you watch the frame holding the various parts of his old rifle. Begin to be heated. Go to scratch at his chin as you watch the frame holding various parts of his old rifle begin to get heated to the point of liquefying or burning. State of rifle was before. Grabbed a new frame, set it on the side before he changed it. Oh. Okay, so I got a little zoned in there. No, I was more or less joking about it, but if you gender bent Riggin and gave him huge knockers, I think the internet might like crash out if they see this like doomer goth mommy vampiress that wants to just kill things. You know, I feel like that'd be bad. Hell yeah! Farger grabbed up a new frame and set it into the slide before heaving it. New frame. I have no other characters I want to gender bend. Good. It would be weird to have other characters gender bent in the story, I fear. Board Fisher grabbed up a new frame and set it on the slide before heaving it into the frames, allowing it to accept the liquid as it would be cast into a slab to be reused for another thing later on. Quincy then heaved up a gun case from the underside of the table and rotated towards Dakota as he opened up, showing off his new rifle as... I mean, isn't that just gender affirming hair? I'm sorry, that might have been too far. No! It's beautiful, Dakota said as he studied the sigils and runes etched into the rifle before reaching. Before he grabbed it, he shut the case and... Make Dakota ginger? You're not gonna steal my soul. That's just mean. Why would you steal my soul? Of all the things to do, why would you steal my soul? Unfortunate. Then bald? Bald Dakota would be really funny. Now, to be fair with you, we already had this in the works before that rep showed up. Put him in Speedos. You will get so many people horny if you put him in Speedos. I have a feeling people are going to go gaga for his design. Here, we already had this one. My thoughts exactly, Domin. Normal. Lose an arm wrestling, dude. Everyone should lose an arm wrestling match to beat you. I mean, look, Soup Dog. I'm gonna keep it buck 50 with you. You do whatever you want. I'm not gonna be mad. I'll probably just laugh if you do something of any of the things you've listed today as art for Dakota. I will be beyond thankful, by the way, if you do decide to do something for Dakota. But just know you don't have to. Even if it is something like goofy. This chapter has been very dialogue heavy. I feel like that's fine. Sorry. Nobody transformed into melee. What probably like hatchets. I feel like because it's 2 hatchets. If it's in the axe set, grab him. So like he can't see my hands, but basically he takes the 2 pistols and would like make them into a cross, pull the 2 apart, and then they become hatchets. No dragon? Yo, that's freaking rad! Ooh, that would be a fun thing for him to fight. I'm gonna make a note of that. You'll get credit. Of course you get credit. I'm gonna put it in the, No, you get credit. What? Yeah, I mean... There. You got credit. Also making sure Howard the Owl is here as well. Titter. Alright, let's see here. I forgot we started as early as we did today. I really did forget we started as early as we did today. Like, man, we've already been going for like 2 hours? Yeah, no, because I started like 4:30. Gracious. Yeah, we started like, or almost, yeah, anyways. God do me a favor, don't ask for any repairs in a week. I'm on a pay schedule this week. Be asking for repairs. Pay schedule this week. Boss wants to make something special. Alright, I feel like that's a quick and easy way to just have it be like, alright, did you want to see the silly sword? Nah, I know the blade. It's been made by my great-granddad. What? Yeah. Made it back when we had to deal with a vampire lord. It's really good at dealing with the supernatural. I feel like that's a good... What if I write a fanfiction in which Dakota... I mean, it would be very, very funny. Man, can you imagine writing fanfiction for something that's not even finished yet? Be quite the power move. Be quite the power move. You stop, man. Dealing with the they're still supernatural. And back. Back when we had to deal with the true vampire lord terrorizing. High school AU? Man, that'd be crazy. So what, is it just like... I can't believe I'm already thinking of like how I'd do a high school AU for this. Alright, well, did you want to see this? Oh boy, it's made by my great-granddad. Yeah, back when he made it, we had to deal with a vampire. Really good. Beyond. He made it that blade back when we had to deal with a true vampire or terrorist people, where we had firearms capable of doing its own. High School Chronicles. Oh, jeez. No, we're not. No, we're not. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but that's one of those things where it's like, it's a litmus test, I believe, for people. I feel like, handle anime, or like, the fact that all of them are technically underage and they're being hypersexualized is yee. Something else. Yeah, you're right about that. Very right about that. Nothing left to discuss or go over. Quincy, Dakota bid Quincy a good day and took his upgraded equipment with him. Nothing else. Oh! Magic. What do we call them? Plates? Low grade. High grade. Dakota will be Tracer? I mean, could do worse. Could have had him been Orisa. With nothing left to discuss or go over, Dakota bid Quincy a good day and took his upgraded gear with him, stopping only to get the special high grade plates on his way out of the R&D department. DNR department. Before leaving fully, Dakota would look back over his shoulder to see if Quincy was keeping an eye on him or not. Afterwards, adjusted his goggles on his forehead and solemnly shook his head. Normally, and then back here to fire off his weapons. Range a bit to get a feel for them. He was already running later than he wanted. He knew he needed to talk to his boss before beginning controls. So the blade is 500 years old. What if we went beyond fiction? Drawing IRL Savage? I mean, you could. I mean, it's kind of a terrible thing, but like this emote and honestly this one too. These are me. I mean, don't draw me in the maid fit. I can't stop you from drawing me in the maid outfit, but I would be mad. But I would also laugh because I do find things like that funny. What? No diamonds. That I would get mad about. Oh, you can. Okay. All right. If we're gonna start doing stuff like this, hold on. Let me clarify some things here. All right. I'm not gonna ask for you to draw me in a maid outfit because that's just not what I'm gonna do. Secondly, if I am not one to tell people what to do or what not to do when coming to things of I'll go on my walk down, don't worry. I'll also hydrate too, but I want to make this clear. If you guys really want to do stuff like that, like draw me in like a maid outfit or draw me as any other thing, I'm not going to complain about it. I will find it funny though. I will find it very, very funny, and I will probably more than likely laugh at it and then save it for a rainy day when I need another laugh. So don't sit there and be like, well, I'm not going to do it if you don't want it, because obviously I'm not going to say here in front of everyone on the internet that I want to be drawn, my real life self drawn in a maid outfit. That's just not going to happen. All right, it's going to be taken out of context me saying that, but I don't want to sit there and be like, yeah, you can draw me a Mpreg, or yeah, you can draw me a maid outfit. I don't want to say that, you know. I don't want to like want it, because that's just not something I'm into, right? But if you feel like you want to, or you feel like it would be fun, go for it. I'm not going to tell you no in the sake of like, I don't want you to draw it, because I know what that incurs is a Streisand effect of people being like, well, he didn't want it, so now we have to do it, you know? So if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. But just know that I'm not going to ask to be drawn in a maid outfit or Mpreg or anything like that. All right? Especially if it's like I need to say this next bit carefully. I need to say this next bit carefully, else people are going to think I'm going to pay for it. Unless I pay for art and explicitly say what I want it to be, I don't have input on what you guys do as fan art, okay? You guys do whatever you want. But if I'm paying for it, I have input. Okay, I'm gonna go take my walk now, and I'm gonna have my sip of water as I go. But I hope that clears the air. I don't think we're not in an ad break right now, are we? I hope not. All right, let me go take my walk. I'll have my phone on me so I can at least read chat. That's right. Gotcha. Else. I'm so happy that's the takeaway. I am so pleased that is the takeaway you got. Oh, Lord. Holy. The quota for this walk. Oh, ease is a strong word. I want you guys to enjoy what you do. Like, that's the thing about it is, even jokes aside, memes aside, I do want to say this. I am beyond flattered, and I'm humbled and honored you guys would even want to draw or do any sort of fan art, fan fiction, whatever about this world that we're building together. Because that to me shows that this is something you guys are enjoying. And therein lies the fact that this is something that I am doing good by. You guys are enjoying the time we spend together. You guys are having fun with what we're writing. And you guys are, enjoying the time you're giving me. So to me, that is just a sign of the utmost admiration for you to want to do that. So I don't want to discourage you from wanting to, doing something you want to do. I don't want to have it be like I'm coming off as like, oh, how dare you do something like that? Because to me, it's like if you enjoy the time we're spending together so much that you want to dedicate part of your time outside of it for doing these things, to me, that's like the utmost form of sincerity and enjoyment of what you're watching. I mean, if you mailed me a portrait of me, I'd be even more impressed because I haven't given you my address yet. But I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, it's a sign of knowing that people enjoy the time that you give them as much as they enjoy the time being with you and what you do. I mean, you probably could. I'm not that hard to find. I'm an American, though, and I do believe in my rights, so just a warning. Yeah. We've been doing... I never actually said how long I was going to go live for, but we've been live for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Do we want to go over what we read today? Like, do a quick little read-through and see how we're feeling about it? And then call it? Because I'm getting hungry. I would like to eat dinner. I mean, if you want to mail something, that's totally fine, Soup. But, like, I don't want you to spend money because mailing to the United States right now is a little crazy. I mean, plus you also got my Discord. We can do digital stuff, All right. Let's see here. Spend money to make money, baby. That do be how it is. Okay. So where we're at. Let's read what we got. Let's read what we've written today. And then at some point, I will be... What I really need to do is just put these all in one big document so I don't have to, like, keep different ones. I can actually read the whole dang thing. I think that's what we'll do the next time, where we do a writing stream, is I'll actually go through and we'll read everything that we have written down. See how we still feel about things. Make a killing off of that. So, from what we started writing today, Dakota kept in mind what Erie said to him as he walked down the wide hallway. The Wolven postman always found this walk to seem a lot shorter than it should have been, considering the scale of the spire he was in. As he walked on, her words rattled in his head as he also kept thinking about his current upgrades. He got mused about if he should let Quincy see them as well. As he thought on, Dakota found his way to the back half of the main many-floored spire, just outside the Development and Research Department. This place was where a small crew of dedicated developers, magic users, and weaponsmiths all worked together with a forge master to craft the various magical equipment and technologies that each postman assigned to the city had. The D&R department was a massive, open-floored shop with partitions dividing each area apart to keep things safe. The department had a fully fledged firing range that led outside towards the back of the small foundry where many of the armor, plates, and weapons were forged at, a smithery that perfected each crafted weapon and armor piece, a lab that would test and create many of the healing elixirs and other various potions used by the postman, and an alchemy suite set up for creating and improving many of the materials it took to make up the postman's. I feel like we should just say gear instead of uniforms. It made up more than half of the main floor of the Postman Spire in New Albany. $200 per drawing? It's kind of a good price, really. Now, the Forgemancer, Quincy, was one of the most senior in this department, probably even across all Postman D&R branches. Having been a part of the Postman well before Dakota joined, Quincy oversaw many of the technological and magical advancements made by the agency. So much so that rumors even went about that he was related to one of the judges, all because of his gift of mixing magic and science. The half-dwarf Forge Master was able to accomplish nearly anything, so it was a point of pride for Dakota to know his ideas often challenged him. Unlike the other people working back there who often encouraged their charges to adapt and alter their tools to fit their needs, Quincy was not one of those types. Those types. Stocky half-dwarf. We go on about how he hated it when postmen messed with his perfectly crafted and forged gear. He even loathed it more when those who altered his work would return weeks later with their gear being broken from misuse. Dakota was often one who pushed the master craftsman to his limits, as he pushed the gear to the very limits of their purpose. Rifles were often battered, pistols bent, armors rendered useless, etched spells shaved clean. Dakota tested Quincy's patience. Once inside the department, Dakota was nearly instantly greeted by Quincy's owl. The dark gray and brown Stygian owl hooted at Dakota in a frustrated tone, clearly knowing it was his fault why his owner was in a flush state. Dakota smiled up to the bird. "Hey, Howard, missed you too, buddy." With a soft fluttering of its wings, the ornery bird turned away from Dakota with little more fanfare and stayed by the main entrance. Dakota, satisfied with the briefing, continued further into the park, recruiting other tech wizards and workers. He went further in, heading towards where the Forge Master had his own shop set up. You pay $200 for a drawing made by me of someone in the Glacier Courts in maid outfit? I mean, I feel like it would. Not that I have $200 to give for art right now, but I think we both know who I would choose. Dakota said as he entered the half-doors portion of the department. Hadn't seen myself. I want to believe you were so riled up, even Howard had one. Well, that blasted bird was supposed to tell me when he got here. Now, you brought your old rifle, yeah? Yes, I did. I heard one of the reps from the judges even stopped by to give me pointers. He answered, opening up his duffel bag to retrieve the armament out of it. It's like Dakota handed the implement award to the white-haired and tanned half-dwarf. Fat lot of good it did. Told me that you wanted it. Told me to do all that you wanted and more, Mari. Oh, can't believe she even wanted you to have 2 pistols and all. Why 2? Is it 1 enough? I'm not complaining. Would I choose Romulus? Or Artist, 100%. No, I would choose Rashira. Yeah, because you ain't the one making them. The Forge Master hefted up a small black box. Small black box. Latched with 3 different straps and covered in a set of blue sigils, very similar to the sword's scabbard. Got me there. Did she say anything else? Dakota sized up the box before opening and face up. Smaller. Sized up the small gun case before opening. Only that they need to transform into melee weapons. Hope you like hatchets, Quincy said, taking apart the rifle in moments before Dakota could even finish opening the gun box. Hatchets. What I asked. Voice. Seems like an odd choice. No, they gave you a silly sword already. She told me that much. I feel like you're annoyed at being told what to make. You can tell that much, yeah? Dakota chuckled softly as he carefully hefted up the black firearm from the box. It was very much styled like the standard issue sidearms that Postman had, except for the weapons, noticeably larger and had a set of notches along the underside of the frame just beyond the trigger. I wouldn't say pay for drawing, rather do stuff. It has nothing to do with supporting arts. Say for free. Supporting arts. I get the confusion. Making them into hatchets is easy enough. Slide the 2 together there in those notches, and the shaping magic will do. As he said, as he worked each part of the disassembled rifle into different slots on a large frame. It'll slowly begin to glow as the half-dwarf heaves the frame onto a carpet sack. They also now take vocal commands for spell damage types you'll want for your rounds. Lumi for light, Nocta for dark, Ignis for flame, Volta for lighting. I think the Forge Master wheeled the cart, waving Dakota to follow. Dakota quickly put the firearms into their case and set it into How do I change them back into pistols? Rivets in the axe head. Just grab and pull. Nice, Dakota said, following Quincy as they passed a pair of workers with 2 other postmen idly going about their gear. Quincy then handed Dakota a pair of welding goggles. Dakota put them on without question as Quincy hefted the metal frame off the cart onto a conveyor belt before leading Dakota into the grand furnaces section of the car. Now, for your rifle. We're going to keep it simple, really. Nothing too fancy. Just better capabilities for you. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. What, you wanted to transform too? No, Alright then, let me talk, the Forge Master said before having Dakota sit down on a chair in the room, having him watch as Quincy reforged his rifle. We're upping your firepower, making it have a larger magic clip capacity, along with being more accurate. It'll fire straight as can be at fire rate you deem worthy for the engagement. Dakota scratched at his chin as he watched the metal frame holding the various parts of his old rifle begin to heat to the point of liquefying and reverting to the state of what the rifle was before being turned into a raw potential. Fortunator grabbed up a new frame and set it on the slide before heaving it into the furnace, allowing it to accept the liquid as it would be casted into a slab to be reused for another thing later. Quincy then heaved up a gun case from the underside of the table and rotated towards Dakota as he opened it, showing off his new rifle as the postman got up from his chair and came. It's beautiful, Dakota said as he studied the sigils and runes etched into the rifle before reaching for it. Before he could grab it, Quincy shut the case and took it into his hands before waving Dakota out back to his maker. Now, to be fair with you, we already had this in the works before that rep showed up. Figured you'd be needing the upgrade, as you already talked about your pistol changed. Crimson Visage! Now, to be fair with you, we already had this in the works before that rep showed up. I figured you'd be needing the upgrade, as you already talked about your pistol being changed. Quincy handed over the case. Let's go set it down. His table before Getting the rifle and placing it into a stuffable. Need to make sure you stock up with enchanted steel plates for both your pistols, so it won't take standards and gotta run the high grade stuff. Normal grade plates still work? Yeah, but you won't get the spells to work for the ammo types if you do. Fair enough. Anything else, Quincy? Yeah, do me a favor. Don't be asking for repairs soon. I'm on a tight schedule this week. Boss wants me to make something special for him. He said with a slight head tilt, egging at Dakota on to ask something else. Dakota took the hint and shrugged. Alright, well, you want to see this silly sword? I know the blade. It's been made by my great granddad. What? Yeah, he made it back when we had to deal with a vampire lord. Beyond good at dealing with the supernatural. He made that blade back when we had to deal with a true vampire lord terrorizing people, before we had firearms capable. Half-dwarf paused, running his hand down his white-beard. It's only silly to me because it's only silly to me because if you're the one being sent to deal with that bastard, you shouldn't need this. I feel like it shouldn't have bastard here. I kind of like it not having first words. You shouldn't need this. Sir? Shouldn't need this. We got guns capable of handling vampires. Quincy hinted, feeling he knew more than Coda. But what did they have in store for him? Coda said nothing more, but nodded softly. Maybe those rumors were true about Quincy. Maybe he was related to one of those ships. With nothing left to discuss or go over, Coda bid Quincy a good day and took his upgraded equipment with him, stopping only to get the special high-grade plates on his way out from our department. Before leaving fully, Dakota would look back over his shoulder to see if Quincy was keeping an eye on him. Half-dwarf adjusted his goggles on his forehead, solemnly shook his head. Normally, he'd linger back here to fire off his weapons at the range a bit to get a feel for them, but he was already running later than he wanted and knew he had to talk to his boss before beginning his work. As the Wolfen postman left, Howard swooped back down to Quincy's shoulder, hurt his wings. Dakota waved back to the two as Quincy sighed. The Forge Master closed the main door to his room, his desk, finding a bottle of amber liquid, retrieving a glass, gingerly pouring it. Those monsters at the arcane region started something they never should have, he said softly to Howard as he sipped from the glass. Hopefully that kid's heart is still strong enough not to succumb. Things seemed still, all too still. Light shifted about as the holes in the ceiling above betrayed how worn down this building. The figure grunted in the corner as he slowly got up, testing his limbs and working his neck about as the bones and joints. You have to go out once more soon. And it's been too long. Can't act now. And there we are. All right. How we feel about hand clap? How do we feel about what we've written so far today? Do we feel like it still fits in and flows with the story we got? I feel like it does. I feel like we're also laying seeds of Quincy knowing more about what's going on than Dakota, which will make it really satisfying if we do go back to Quincy for some other reason, which I have an idea for, but we'll see if I can implement it without being too drastic. Because I'm going to reveal that Quincy lives at the Spire, and this paragraph right here, this little thing right now, is hinting to Reagan, if you didn't know. That's the idea. This is hinting towards Reagan. Because he's been like recovering since the fight with Erie because Erie tore him apart. So that's what this is hinting towards. But I think with that, is there any other things we should cover real quick? I'm still waiting to hear back from my artist, Erie is her character in the story. Well, inspired by her, I should say. I want to make sure that she feels like this is doing her character justice. And the other thing that we hinted towards up here is this clerk knows Dakota. And I'm not sure how we're going to have her know Dakota just yet, but I have a couple ideas how we're going to do it. The idea is, though, is that she's going to play a role later on because she's going to be the one that gets turned into a vampire by Reagan. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do that yet, but she ends up getting the Hell Golem that we talked about, the Hellstone Golem or whatever we called it in the other document. But this is going to be that girl right here. Wow! Thank you for the resub, Romulus.
Thanks for the resub Romulus_Fame. Going on 3 months.
Congratulations, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just also realized, too, that I was talking about all the story stuff in the middle of an ad. My bad. I gotta get used to, like, not saying things important during an ad. But yeah, the idea is this clerk is going to be the one that gets turned into a vampire by Reagan. And then, wow! Thank you for handling the shout-out, Dotman. I appreciate that greatly. And to you too, Romulus, thank you so much for the resub. Yeah, so idea, this clerk that we're hinting to as being important is going to be the one that gets turned into a vampire by Reagan. Quincy knows more than what he's letting on. Or he let on stuff, and then he's going to be basically the role that ends up exposing the Arcane Regent to the Postman for what they did. And then this little paragraph is just him, Reagan, coming back to quote-unquote life from being essentially just repairing himself for like a year after his... Does Dakota know he's in a book? Realistically, that's going to kind of depend on how we end up playing Dakota once I get art and stuff done for him to stream as him properly. I kind of like the idea of him not knowing, but I also wouldn't be opposed to it being one of those things where it's like, yeah, I was originally created for this book, I was created for this series, but my creator never got it properly bought up by a studio to air it on TV. And then go from there. Does he know he's in a videotape? I mean, we're gonna kind of cover that, I think. I think in the story, he's not gonna know. But when I start streaming as him, he'll know. Does that make sense? I feel like because it's like the idea is that the story and the streaming stuff is separate from each other enough where it's like this is what Dakota came from. So either technically this is his past life before he started doing the streaming stuff, or this is going to be he's not going to be aware of what he's doing, right? Because the idea is current day Dakota, which will be what I'm streaming as when we get to that point, this is all going to be in the past room. This isn't like what's going on currently, right? Like we're writing out his story, we're writing out his TV show. So I feel like that will get answered once we do. But yeah. I think with that, we went over the story stuff that we're in today. We got the seeds planted for some stuff. We got hints of Eerie being otherworldly powerful because she has like the ability to pull people into her mind palace as well to talk to them while not being near them. So we think. And then the clerk that is being talked to, I'm going to have her be the one that gets turned into a vampire by Reagan. So we'll go from there. Yeah. With that, we're going to end it. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down. Yeah, we're going to end it there. I think we're in a good spot. I feel like we're making good pace. I feel like we're making good time. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what we're going to stream. We might do more writing. We might be playing some Destiny. I really got to farm up some materials because I'm out of upgrade materials in Destiny 2, so we might do that. Or we might play Monster Hunter or play more Halo Combat Evolved or Rebalance Mod. need to get back to that in Titanfall 2. So, but for now, I believe that is going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. Support artists if you have the ability to do so, whether it be buying commissions or just advertising their posts, their social media posts when they go in commissions. Always feel free to send your work to people that you like and that you trust for critiques and criticisms. But yeah, with that, we're gonna end it. I understand being shy a little too much, but again, what I'm doing is kind of exposing myself writing. Yeah. Hope you all have a good night. Thank you guys so very much for being here, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.